This is Bridget Kelly, and you know I got soul.
All right, Bridget. So, you've got the new single out, Special Delivery. We're loving the single.
Thank you.
Talk about the creation of the song.
Well, Special Delivery was written by the amazing Christelle and produced by Eric Hudson, and they are a dynamic team. Obviously, the music is classic R&B. I really wanted to, keep it consistent with the R&B feel, and so I decided that would be the first single just because it was so near and dear to me. I feel like it speaks on an emotional disconnect in a relationship, and without necessarily tagging it as a cheating record or a male bashing record. I really wanted to pinpoint just the emotional damage that happens when sometimes life circumstances just don't allow the relationship to work. So,
yeah, exactly. And you just shot the video for it.
Yes.
What can we expect to see on there?
It's different. It's a very different video. I wanted to get just kind of capture emotion with the video and keep it as simple as possible. And we shot it in Brooklyn, so it was really just a raw kind of neighborhood feel. And went to the beach with it, and got some shots there as well. I definitely just wanted to keep it, keep the message really, really basic, so that people didn't get lost in the images. So I'm hoping that people will love it.
Cool. And you mentioned this is the first single. I know people have been waiting for the album since your EP came out last year and was well received.
Yes.
Just talk about the progress of the debut.
So the EP came out about a year ago, and it was well received. We did a bunch of press, we did a bunch of shows and stuff, and everybody really loved it. But then, like with working the EP and with going back in the studio and kind of revamping a little bit of the sound, things have kind of come full circle, and so everything is really R&B sounding now.
Okay.
And I love that. I love that because it's true to how I felt over the course of the last year or so, and we're still bringing some of that aggression and edge that I initially wanted to bring, which which has a rock sound to it and rock feel.
Okay.
But it's soulful. It's really soulful, and it's coming from a very emotional place. So it's been a year. It's been a good year. It's been a really good year.
And that's actually something I wanted to ask you about, is the sound, because the EP had a bunch of different sounds. Like Thinking About Forever was mellow. Like White Eyes was kind of dark. Seek and Destroy was kind of edgy.
Yes.
And this single, Special Delivery, is kind of smooth, like you mentioned, classical R&B. Is the album gonna include all these different sounds, or are you gonna focus mostly on the smooth? Okay.
Definitely. A lot of the records are smooth. Some of them are dark. But of course, I do have a couple more records like Seek and Destroy that are kind of comical and take a more lighthearted take on relationships and love, and so it's not all wanting to kill yourself music. It's not all heartbroken, but it's cool. I think there's gonna be something on there for everybody.
Great. And who did you work with on the album?
Man, well, Shay Taylor was the primary producer. He brought a lot of good energy out of me, and he's also a good friend of mine, so that helps. Harmony was another producer I worked with. Pop and Oak, incredibly talented duo. Who else did I work with that I love? Eric Hudson, of course, did the single Special Delivery, and Jerry Wonder.
Okay.
Jerry Wonder really wrapped everything up for me, really pulled everything together sonically. So
nice. I know when we first interviewed you a year ago, you were stressing that one of the biggest challenges was being patient and having to kind of wait for the whole thing to come together with the album. How's it been being patient? The album is finally upon us here, but have you been able to be patient?
I'm actually really terrible at being patient. I'm very impulsive. I freak out and panic sometimes, but I have the best team in the world. I could not ask for a better group of people at a label, and within management, within just my own squad. Makeup, hair, styling. Like, everybody is just so on point at all times, and that keeps me from losing my cool. And really just kind of going over the deep end with being impatient and wanting things to just be ready now and come out. But I think we've prepped for everything up until this point, and everything is starting to roll out really smoothly. And today the single came out, and I feel like we're perfectly prepared for it, and everything that's coming up, we're still just working hard to maintain the same level of preparation. So if something really crazy does happen at the last minute, I'll be more excited than freaked out.
Great. So, like we mentioned, the EP was released last year.
Yes.
It got great reception. Do you feel like it kind of accomplished what you were looking to set out with it for, and helped you build a fan base and that buzz?
Absolutely. I think putting out an EP in general is really risky for a new artist. it's sort of an independent move against, I mean, sort of in the industry against the label side of things. But I put an EP out with support from my label, with support from everybody that I work with, and so, you know, that I think was groundbreaking for me, just because, you know, when you put out an EP, people, there's no real incentive for people who don't know you to go after it. And I think a lot of people did that didn't know who I was, and so, you know, that was very encouraging for me to, you know, to bring something new and something alternative sounding to the table and have it be received so well. So I think it definitely did its job.
Cool. And of course you had the first single, Thinking About Forever, written by Frank Ocean, and then you know, eventually he released that as his own single. But did that kind of make you have to do anything differently or change your plans with what you were going to do?
No, not at all. I think, you know, as I've always said, the song has a life of its own, and whether I sing it or he sings it, it's a beautiful record, and it's going to live on radio, and it's on his album, and it'll be on my album as well. So it's both of our songs. I feel happy that it's being heard.
Cool. And just finally, you know, you've had buzz coming for a while. The EP helped build your buzz. What's the biggest challenge of capitalizing on that buzz and getting success with your debut for you?
I think the biggest challenge is making sure my audience knows that I'm not just kicking back and chilling and hiding out, and you know, it's hard to keep the crowd satisfied with things. They want to be saturated with stuff all the time. But I think everybody has been as patient as I've been with the whole process and putting music out, and you know, trying to maintain some relevance, you know, and still get press and create attention, and put yourself in situations where people will notice you and love you and adore you and, you know, love your music. And I think everybody with Rock Nation especially has done an incredible job with trying to make sure that the music speaks for itself, and it's done really well so far. So I'm just looking forward to riding that wave.
Great. We're definitely rooting for you. So.
Thank you.
And that's all we got. Anything you'd like to add?
No, just thank you guys so much. You know, YouKnowIGotSoul has been so supportive since day one. You guys were one of the first blogs I ever did an interview with, so thank you so much for the love throughout.
Thank you, Bridget. Appreciate it.